Now on CoastTV News.
Another very cold start this Friday morning. Temperatures beginning in the teens and 20s. The cold air hangs around for the start of the weekend with a milder Sunday. I'll track it on Futurecast coming up.
Bridge name battle, the controversy in Maryland over keeping the Francis Scott Key name as repairs continue in the wake of last year's tragedy in Baltimore.
Proposed Delaware tax hike, we break down why you could be paying more to the state when filing returns next year.
Wage wars, while hourly workers in Maryland could get more money, will businesses be able to afford to keep them if an increase goes into effect?
This is CoastTV News Today.
It's Friday, January 24th, 2025. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for being up with us during our 5 o'clock hour.
And we have Friday. We've reached Friday, Elisa, and all the pomp and circumstance.
Are you going to sing the song?
Would you like me to?
I
know it's a favorite of yours out there.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Why don't we wait a little bit? Next hour.
Why are you going to make us wait for that?
It's called the tease in the business.
All right.
Keeps people tuning in.
At
Keeps
6
locked.
o'clock, Bob and I want you to sing.
I will
It's Friday.
serenade in all of Delmarva with
not
Rebecca Black.
disappoint Bob and I, right, Bob? We need to hear that at 6 o'clock.
Everybody looking forward to 6:01. Can Matt carry a tune? That is the big question. Anyhow, we go from that to cold. Now, it's just cold. It's not brutally cold like we had yesterday morning, but it's still cold. 11 in Salisbury, 12 out the door in Redden, 15 in Georgetown, 15 in Seaford, 23 in Bethany Beach, 23 in Rehoboth right now. These temperatures a few degrees warmer than yesterday at this time, but it's still very cold. Winter calm inland areas, a little bit of a breeze along the coast, so it feels like temperatures similar to the actual temperatures in the teens and 20s. So bundle up, cover up the extremities. We are looking at mostly clear skies, just a few high clouds out there, and the high clouds will continue much of the day. There is a front back to the west. This will wash out as it gets here, but kind of reinforce that chilly air for today. As we rise through the 20s this morning, mid-morning, upper 20s, and then lower 30s by noon. We are going to melt snow this afternoon with temperatures in the low to mid 30s with a mix of sun and clouds. And remember, anything that melts will refreeze this evening. It's cold, but at least the winds are light today with teens and eventually mid-30s by this afternoon, but with the breeze feeling like 20s. The cold hangs around into Saturday and then warming up beginning Sunday. More on that coming up a little bit later on.
All right, thank you, Bob. We're going to stay on this cold, snowy theme. Earlier this month, we dealt with a big snowstorm here. Now, unprecedented snowfall in the south this week, followed by icy interstates. It left truckers stranded for hours, some parked for days. As you can see, these are trucks in Alabama. They are lined up, parked on the side of a highway. A spokesperson for the Alabama Department of Transportation says they did bring in extra snowplows to assist, and crews did treat roads with de-icer, but ALDOT says the ice was too thick in some places.
New this morning, debate over the name for the new bridge that will replace the collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. A bill introduced this month calls for the bridge to keep the name Francis Scott Key, but a public hearing is scheduled for this afternoon in the House of Delegates. And last year, several civil rights groups were pushing for the rename of the bridge because Key owned slaves in the early 1800s. Several steps need to occur before that bill comes to a vote.
Happening now in Delaware's General Assembly, a debate over increasing the amount of money you could pay in state income tax. This is in a bill introduced in the House. Currently, if you make more than $60,000, the rate is 6.6%. Now, if this bill passes, that rate would remain the same if that amount you make is up to $125,000. It adds two tiers after that. Up to $250,000, you could pay 6.75%. Over $250,000, the rate goes up to nearly 7%. The bill is now under review in the Revenue and Finance Committee.
Happening today in Rehoboth Beach, commissioners will hold several public hearings on a previously controversial proposal. First, the Planning Commission will hold a site plan review for the hotel proposed at 1 Rehoboth Avenue. You may remember locals in the city have been concerned with traffic, among other topics, if that business were to be approved. Also, the Planning Commission will discuss a proposal to partition a parcel of land at 87 Henlopen Avenue into two.
Got developing news in Milford where those whose job is to protect and serve could earn more money. Now, right now, a citywide pay study is underway. According to the Milford Police Department website, new officers start out making $61,000 a year plus benefits, and a full-time dispatcher is paid $20 an hour with benefits. People who live in Milford think the risk the men and women in the police department face every day deserves a little more reward.
So I think in today's world, police officers should make a lot more money. They go out every day and they really don't know if they're going to come home that night. I have family members who are police officers, so I could be a little bit more prejudiced, but in today's world, they need to make more than that $61,000.
At the City Council meeting this upcoming Monday, Chief of Police Cecilia Ash will provide Council with an update on the study. Once that's completed, Council will decide which positions, if any, need pay increases.
In Maryland, some workers could see a pay bump for next year. Government officials in Maryland are debating major changes that could affect businesses in the state. Right now, the minimum wage in Maryland is $15 an hour, but officials are discussing an increase that would take that all the way up to $20. And that includes for tipped workers, but it's not something that would happen all at once. The gradual increase to $20 an hour would take until 2030, but one local says this increase could hurt businesses.
For small businesses especially that don't have the largest margins, they can't afford that, and the end result will almost certainly be that some people will lose their jobs.
If you work 40 hours a week, every $20 an hour, you would earn somewhere between $41,000 a year. And if that legislation moves forward, it would then go to a ballot vote in 2026.
Now taking a live look at the White House in Washington, D.C., President Trump is leaving there today to visit disaster zones in North Carolina and California. The president pressing forward with his agenda, but as NBC's Chris Pallone shows us, Trump is experiencing some hurdles.
This includes a federal judge in Washington issuing a ruling that temporarily blocks the executive order ending birthright citizenship, calling it, quote, blatantly unconstitutional.
President Trump's first trip of his second term will take him to North Carolina and California. The president getting a first-hand look at hurricane recovery efforts in Asheville and wildfire damage in Los Angeles. Before taking office, Trump was critical of FEMA and appears poised to make changes to the emergency relief agency.
FEMA is going to be a whole big discussion very shortly because I'd rather see the states take care of their own problems.
The president started Thursday with a warning to the World Economic Forum.
If you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff.
The White House now targeting February 1st to implement the long-promised tariffs on products companies bring in from countries like Mexico, Canada, and China. Economists warn widespread tariffs will hit American consumers hard with price increases, but the president appears undeterred.
There will be no better place on earth to create jobs, build factories, or grow a company than right here in the good old USA.
The administration says its promised crackdown on illegal immigration is underway. As 1,500 troops are headed to the U.S.-Mexico border, ICE agents have been seen arresting migrants with criminal records in Boston. But the president's immigration agenda has hit its first snag. A federal judge temporarily blocking an executive order ending the right to U.S. citizenship at birth for the children of undocumented immigrants, a right guaranteed by the Constitution's 14th Amendment.
I was really happy to see the judge express that same viewpoint, that in 4 decades he had never seen something so obviously unconstitutional.
A setback for the Trump agenda that could go all the way to the Supreme Court. Chris Pallone, NBC News, Washington.
We're just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News today.
Yeah, coming up, businesses bloom after shutdown. We'll show you the proposed plans for the area of where the old Roses department store in Ocean City once stood.
Also, Commission for the LGBTQ plus community will tell you how members of the group say the initiative will advocate for the people it supports.
But first, support for veterans. The event in Sussex County designed to showcase the benefits available to our vets. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Hey, it's Leah, and I'm so excited because this Monday we'll finally reveal to you who's going to be joining me as the next co-host of Coast Life. So mark your calendars and get excited for this very special moment. Join me and the new Coast Life co-host Monday at 4 on Coast TV.
It all started with a food truck and a dream of bringing excellent street food to our community. That dream became Tiki Jack's as we know it today. From mouth-watering street tacos to our signature sandwiches and street-inspired entrees, Tiki Jack's is the ultimate destination for comfort food by the shore. Whether you're dining out with family or looking for a fun night out with friends, stop by Tiki Jack's of Rehoboth Beach today for all your street eats and brews.
Mark your calendars for the Children's Beach House Gala presented by Jack Wingo Realtors and Jack Wingo Asset Management on February 8 in Dewey Beach. This black tie evening features an open bar, auctions, dinner, and a performance by Kristen and the Noise. Your support helps empower children with special needs to build confidence, develop leadership skills, and thrive in a caring community. For more info, visit cbhinc.org/gala or call 302-841-9639. Sponsored by CoastTV.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Rice Robot, the 1, 2, 3 rice cooker. Watch, 1 add the white cup for rice, 2 add the blue cup for water, 3 click it and let Rice Robot perfectly cook it.
The secret is perfect cook technology for even cooking. Then Rice Robot senses when it's done, auto stops and keeps it warm to serve.
It won't burn, overcook or undercook, guaranteed.
Get the complete Rice Robot cooking system, all for just $39.99. Ordered now.
Hi, this is Jimmy Hoppa inviting you to join us as we take the cross to the country. Christian country and Southern gospel, all to celebrate our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Taking the cross to the country, Sunday mornings at 8 on Coast Country, sponsored by Fitzgerald Salvage and Recycling.
5:11 on this cold Friday morning, 17 in Milford right now in the Bay Health Camp. Still quite a bit of snow out there, but we'll be melting some of that today, but not this morning. 11 in Salisbury, 12 in Redden. Elsewhere, it's in the teens, and we've got 20s along the coast right now. And the winds, thankfully, are calm or very light, so that's reflected in the feels-like temperatures, which pretty much mirror the actual temperatures. We are looking at mostly clear skies, good visibility this morning, just a few high clouds. There is a cold front back to our west. That will wash out as it heads our way, but kind of reinforce the cold air that's in place. Here's a bus stop forecast for the kiddos. They need to bundle up this morning. Mostly sunny. We're in the mid-teens, around 16 degrees, and still need that heavy jacket coming home. We'll call it mostly sunny, 34, and melting some snow at that time.
We are dealing with another morning of bitter cold temperatures, and here we have some evidence of that. Due to the frigid freezing conditions, the sand has frozen over and now looks like slabs of concrete. This is in Ocean City, just something that we normally don't see for most of the year.
New this morning, the Delaware State Senate is sending its solar energy proposal to the House on Thursday. The Senate passed a bill that aims to get a better understanding of solar energy's effect on utility bills, specifically the practice of net billing, which is a billing technique that credits solar energy system owners for the electricity they add to the grid. The bill will now be heard by the House Natural Resources and Energy Committee before possibly going for a vote.
In Millsboro, veterans from across Delaware took part in a clinic showing them all the benefits they can receive.
And CoastTV News reporter Brendan Conroy shows us the takeaways from this event for our veterans.
Veterans, veteran services, those that support them. All coming together Thursday at the American Legion Post 28 in Millsboro for a veterans claims clinic. And it was a packed house.
This meeting was one of the most positive meetings that have occurred, and I've been studying this problem for 10 years.
The only way that we can drive change or take your feedback and put it into action.
The event's purpose was to show veterans all the health and financial benefits that they can receive from the state of Delaware. Plans for a micro hospital, more outlook, other services that they are entitled to, all discussed in a presentation by Kim Butler, who works for the VA in Wilmington.
Hopefully it helps us to form deeper bonds with the community and get people to really trust VA.
For veterans who were there, they praised that alumnus feeling among these organizations.
The one thing that's important to us is that a lot of the outreach is done through organizations that already have veterans.
But they say there is always more work to be done.
Delaware receives the least amount of funding in most areas of veteran support. This is not only detrimental to the veterans, but the economy of Delaware.
These tables are cleared off right now, but I'm going to show you on your screen what they looked like while the event was going on. And veterans at the end of the speaking portion of the event had the opportunity to go over, speak to Veterans Affairs officials, and grab some goodies and their benefits for being a veteran, serving those who served our country. In Millsboro, Brendan Conroy, CoastTV News.
eBay sellers have a new hot commodity, phones with TikTok installed. TikTok was removed from the App Store on Saturday ahead of the federal ban. And while the app is still available to people who already have downloaded it, it remains missing from the App Store. Thousands of eBay sellers are taking advantage of that. Listing ranges from $100 to $1,000.
Taking a trip with Mickey Mouse, it will cost you a little more cheese. Disney Cruise Lines have raised its recommended gratuity rates, according to the company's website. The base daily rate for tips is now $16 per guest, and that's a $1.50 hike from before.
Still ahead, commission for the LGBTQ plus community. We'll tell you some of the roles that commission will take in the Delaware government.
And we're seeing an iced over canal this morning on the Irish Ice. Kamloops is 21 degrees. That's really locked in with this cold. Not brutally cold like we saw the last couple of mornings, but just cold for the next couple of days. And then milder weather for Sunday into next week and staying dry. I'll track the temperatures on Futurecast and have your weekend forecast in 2 minutes.
Listen to Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. We're Delmarva proud.
The Polar Bear Plunge, benefiting Special Olympics Delaware, is one of the first state's coldest and most beloved traditions. This year, you have 2 exciting ways to take part. Plunge in person in Rehoboth Beach on Sunday, February 2nd, or create your own virtual plunge. Anytime, anywhere, and as cold or not as you want. It's not about how you plunge, it's about why. Support thousands of Special Olympics Delaware athletes. Register now at plungede.org.
Stay tuned to get a free automatic toilet bowl cleaner from Mermaid. Your sink stopper's broken, and fixing a drain is a pain. Introducing Mermaid Drain Magic, the instant solution to most broken drains. Just remove and replace. In seconds, you can fill and drain with a simple press of a button. Drain Magic makes replacing your old, broken, rusty, even missing sink stoppers fast and easy. Drain Magic's anti-clogging basket helps prevent clogs in your sink, catching hair, food, even jewelry. Made with brass and chrome and a silicone gasket, it creates a watertight seal. Order your Mermaid Drain Magic today for only $19.99 and get a Mermaid toilet bowl cleaner absolutely free. Drop it in the tank for up to 3 months of cleaning. But wait, this could be your last chance to get Drain Magic at this low price with free toilet bowl cleaner. There's a strict limit of 3, so order now.
Call 1-800-944-6857 or visit GetDrainMagic.com. So call 1-800-944-6857 or visit GetDrainMagic.com now.
Draper Media, an equal opportunity employer, is dedicated to provide broad outreach regarding job vacancies at the station. We seek the help of local organizations in referring qualified applicants to our station. Organizations that wish to receive our vacancy information should email humanresources@wboc.com.
You like to keep your beard perfectly groomed, but she hates all that mess. Now there's VacuTrim by Bell & Howell, the total body shaver that trims your hair and vacuums it up. VacuTrim stainless steel blades give you a precision cut, while the built-in vacuum captures the hair shavings. It has 20 trim settings to shape your beard and tame body hair with no mess. Get VacuTrim with free shipping for only $39.95.
Call 1-800-263-0608. That's 1-800-263-0608 or go to VacuTrim.com.
Somebody's having a night tonight. Yes! I love this wheel.
Friday at 7 on Coast TV.
We're about to hit 5:18 on this Friday morning, and you're looking live at a cold early scene in Milford. And Bob, we are a little warmer this morning, so we got that going for us.
We do. I looked about 4 to 8 degrees warmer right now, Matt, than it was yesterday at this time. So we are making progress slowly but surely. Our storyline today into your Saturday, we are looking at still cold conditions out there with mostly sunny skies and temperatures in the mid-30s. We'll be melting some snow, and then more so by Sunday, more clouds. And I think we're warming into the 40s by that time. But it's cold out there this morning. This is crazy. Winchester yesterday was 0 at this time. Now they're 30 degrees, 31 in Roanoke. So there is some milder air, so to speak, starting to build in. But not for us. We're still very cold here on Delmarva. 15 in Georgetown, 18 in Milton, 12 in Redden. I checked in Millsboro, 15 there, with Rehoboth and Bethany Beach at 22. Winds are calm, so we have that going. We're happy that we're not dealing with brutally cold wind chills or any cold weather headlines. We're looking at feels like temperatures in the teens and 20s. And there it is from yesterday. We are about 5 to almost 10 degrees warmer. We're 9 degrees warmer in Easton, 6 in Ocean City, and 7 in Georgetown. So we're starting that upward trend slowly in the temperature department. Here are the clouds right now. We're seeing some mid to high level clouds out there, mainly cirrus clouds across Delmarva, but we've got good visibility this morning. We've got a cold front back to the west that's inching our way. This will kind of weaken as it does so. There are some snow showers west of D.C. right now, but as this front moves on through, that will reinforce some of the cooler air. But things are pretty quiet besides this front. Behind it, it is chilly, but eventually warming up across the plains, and eventually that warmer air will start to head our way. Warmer meaning 40s instead of 30s. Everything's relative. Here's Futurecast. We're looking at teens and 20s as we go through the morning hours. High clouds from time to time, mid-morning into the upper 20s. By noon, I think we're cracking that freezing mark, so we will start to melt some snow. And by mid-afternoon, around 34 in Berlin, Seaford, and Millsboro, maybe some places around 35. Remember, anything that melts will refreeze this evening after sunset as temperatures sink below freezing. Could see a few clouds overnight and not as cold moving into Saturday morning. I think we're looking at teens and 20s. And as we go through your Saturday, lower 30s around the noon hour, and then similar conditions into the afternoon, much like today, into the mid-30s. Then the wind shift to the southwest on Sunday, and by the afternoon, I think we're looking at least lower 40s, probably mid-40s as we accelerate that snow melting process. Feels like temperatures in the teens this morning, but improving into the afternoon, feeling like the actual temperatures in the 20s and 30s. But another cold start Saturday morning, feeling like single digits, and then still pretty cold into Saturday afternoon. And down the road to end the month of January into early February, still below normal temperatures. Not tremendously below normal, but a little bit below as we head into the early part of February. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast, mid-30s today through Saturday. One more morning in the teens Saturday morning. And then we start a gradual warm-up. Boy, this is nice. Sunday, more clouds, 46, and then we're in the 40s. Monday through Thursday, near 50 by Tuesday, with a few more clouds, overnight lows in the 20s and 30s, and not seeing any big rain or snowstorms on the horizon. Lucy Smith from Seaford is our umbrella winner today. Congratulations to Lucy, courtesy of Coast TV and Paul Davis.
Thank you, Bob. The first ever LGBTQ plus commission is coming to Delaware. Former Governor Bethany Hall Long, in her brief time, the 9-person commission through an executive order. Here is some of what this commission will do. It will advise the governor, policymakers, and state agencies on what's affecting LGBTQ plus people. Now, right now, only 4 of the 9 members have been appointed. Coast TV exclusively spoke with one of the members on this commission.
We are to advocate for awareness and protections for the community against bigotry, violence, hatred, and other forms of discrimination. So having that conversation out loud and making sure that all voices from all segments of the community are heard is crucial.
And Latiger says the commission will also handle data surrounding hate crimes and bias.
The executive order also calls for members' terms to be 3 years. There will be public hearings surrounding problems and topics in the community, and the commission will establish and promote programs and events that create awareness for the LGBTQ plus community.
And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, will a state LGBTQ plus commission effectively address challenges?
This is close. It says 59% say no and 41% say yes. And if you haven't voted yet, you can still do so at coasttv.com or on our mobile app. And 2 Salisbury University students involved in an October assault of a man have now pleaded guilty. Court documents say 19-year-old Sean Antone and 20-year-old Logan Clark pleaded guilty to false imprisonment. The pair will spend 2 days and 68 days in prison, respectively, plus probation. In October, prosecutors say 15 SU students were involved in luring a man to an off-campus apartment. Investigators say the 15 students assaulted the man after deceiving him into meeting a fake 16-year-old boy through a dating app.
After the break on Coast TV News today, businesses bloom after shutdown. We'll tell you what could take the place of the old Rose's department store in Ocean City.
If you don't know what to do this weekend, don't worry, we've got you covered. All the cool things to do are coming up next.
I like going to the events that are actually set up through the station that we have a connection to, a lot of the fundraising events. It's a good opportunity for me to see the good work's going on in the community and also interact with the people. When you're out and about, people are so friendly to come up to you and say hi, and that they watch, and very appreciative of that. It's good that you feel like you're making an impact out there.
Coast TV, our community, your news, where every story hits close to home.
Listen to 93.5 The Beach, Delmarva's rock station.
America's top skaters take the ice.
Absolutely exquisite.
To compete in the Prevagen U.S. Figure Skating Championships.
Makes it look so easy.
Tonight, 8 Eastern on NBC and Peacock.
I've never been SNL host and musical guest in the same week, so I brought in some help to cover with all the hosting duties.
Hello.
Hey.
Please welcome Timothy Chalamet!
He's good. He's really good.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness? If you've ever experienced the warning signs of bad circulation, then you need Legzercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way. Soothe pain and calm restless legs. Reduce swelling in your legs, ankles, and feet, and stimulate healthy circulation. Stay active with Legzercise Pro.
Do you have stains in your carpet that won't come out? You need Horsepower Bullshot, the all-new hands-free carpet cleaner and deodorizer. Just spray, and the stain and odor go away. Got pet messes? This black light shows a urine stain is gone in just seconds. The advanced foam action formula penetrates deep to emulsify and neutralize stains and odors. It erases blood stains, makeup, juice, coffee, and more. For older and tougher stains, just give it a little rub and watch as Bullshot works its magic. Red wine spills? They're no problem for Bullshot. And watch up close as burnt bacon grease stains are obliterated right before your very eyes. Get Horsepower Bullshot for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get yours. And there's a strict limit of 3 at this low, low price. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-693-6210 or visit buybullshot.com. So call 1-800-693-6210 or visit buybullshot.com now.
When one door closes, another one opens, and that's exactly the case for one lot in Ocean City after the beloved Rose's department store closed. The Ocean City Planning and Zoning Commission met to hear plans of filling in 3 open parcels within that lot, upgrading an existing Acme on 1 parcel and building housing on 2. Joe Moore is the lawyer representing the applicant for these plans.
I think it provides the area where people can shop conveniently with their townhouses behind, and even pedestrians coming there.
Work for the approved plans will begin as we get closer to the springtime and the warmer months.
First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey is back with us, and we are looking for some of that snow and ice to melt at some point today.
I know, because you want to go to the beach soon.
We were talking during the break about this is the time you get that beach body all ready.
That's what they say. That's
I've been
what
working
they
on
say.
that one, folks.
Yeah, got to get ripped. That warm weather is going to be here before you know it, guys. Not so much today, though. It's a cold start for Fenwick Island and Ocean City in the lower 20s. Bundle up. At least the winds are pretty light today and warming into the mid-30s at those locations. So we will be melting some of that snow and ice and sand. I heard about that frozen sand before. Lewis and Rehoboth Beach, you're warming to just above freezing as we go into the afternoon hours. On the Bayside, 1-foot waves there. It's cold, just above freezing in Cambridge, and about 34 or 5 in Cambridge and Crisfield, I should say, as we go into the afternoon hours. We continue to increase those temperatures, especially the second half of the weekend into next week. More new forecasts coming up in the next half hour.
Looking forward to that. Dust off your boots, bring your appetite, or just stay cozy on the couch. This weekend's lineup has plenty to offer.
And Coast TV News anchor Christina DeRobertis has your cool things to do.
Well, break out your cowboy hat, get ready for a rootin' tootin' good time, because this weekend the Lone Star Rodeo is back in Salisbury. Bull riding, barrel racing, rodeo clowns, and more, all at the Wicomico County Civic Center Friday and Saturday. And show off your rodeo style, because your outfit could earn you the title of Best Dressed Cowboy or Cowgirl. Another multi-day event this weekend, Tendy-thon in Rehoboth Beach. You can catch a glimpse of these cuties on Saturday if you head over to the Lewis Ferry Terminal and cruise out into the Delaware Bay for a seal watching tour. At Lulu Ross Elementary in Milford, it's the Multilingual Learners Olympics. The annual event brings multilingual students together for academic competitions, plus offers health and community resources. Finally, if you're just feeling like staying on the couch this weekend, you can tune in to CoastTV for episode 1 of The Swift Effect. The show looks at Taylor Swift's journey through the entertainment industry. Tune in Saturday at noon. And for some more details, just head over to coasttv.com and click on Cool Things to Do.
Here at North Bay Marina, we know that boaters have the most fun.
There's a reason Subaru owners keep coming back. It's because Subaru delivers what matters most: unmatched safety, reliability, and trust that grows with every mile. In fact, 96% of Subaru vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today, more than Honda or Toyota brands. At Gateway Subaru, we're proud to offer transparency, honest pricing, and the most enjoyable car buying experience. Stop by today and pre-order the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standards.
Coaches make a difference for their athletes and communities, and we want to honor them.
Each month, the Preston Automotive Group will select a coach who makes a difference and donate $500 to their organization. Then at the end of the year, 3 of these coaches will receive an additional donation to their program.
The coach can be from any sport at any level, up to and including high school.
Nominate your coach today at DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com.
Delmarva Sports Network's Coach Who Makes a Difference. Sponsored by Preston Automotive Group. DSN Plus is more energy. Extra live games and on-demand replays. Anytime, anywhere. DSN Plus is more hype. From playoff matchups and unified football to marching band showcases, we highlight what makes Delmarva unique. DSN Plus is more hometown pride. We go wherever our teams go. With up to 5 live games every weeknight. DSN is still free on air and cable. But get even more with DSN Plus. Just $6.99 a month. Download the Delmarva Sports Network app from your app store today.
Introducing Paisano, the authentic pizza oven by Granite Stone. Now make the world's most delicious pizza with real stone right in your own home. You simply set it and let it make golden, crispy, extra cheesy stone-baked pies in under 6 minutes. You can get your Paisano pizza oven for just 3 easy payments of $39.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free.
Call 1-800-608-5198 or order online at buypaisano.com.
Now on Coast TV News.
Another very cold start this Friday morning. We've got temperatures starting out in the teens and 20s. The cold air hangs around for a part of the weekend with a milder Sunday on the way. I'll track in our futurecast coming up.
California rain worries why a wet forecast there could create more issues for areas destroyed by wildfires.
Restaurant regulation revamped, the move underway in Delaware that could cut through the hindering of businesses by bureaucracy.
Milford's police pay, why backing the blue in that city could lead to more bucks for those who protect and serve.
This is Coast TV News Today.
January 24th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
Time is 5:53. I'm just feeling a little extra peppy today. I think it's because we hit Friday.
You have some big plans tonight, you said. Well, include the Cavs, which I love, obviously.
Yeah.
The other sports
The big plans include me hanging in what I refer to as my man cave basement and watching a lot of basketball and listening to some Penn State hockey. So, yes, excitement abounds there.
Very nice. Well, go Cavs as always, but we're going to bring in Bob right now. Bob, You don't like the Cavs or Penn State, so I don't think you have anything to contribute to that.
I guess I can't. No, I guess I'm a Knicks fan, you know, the New York teams for sure. We are looking at a cold start weather-wise across Delmarva. Not as cold as yesterday morning, about 4 to 8 degrees warmer this time than yesterday, but 11 in Salisbury, 15 in Georgetown, 12 in Redden. We've got 26 in Ocean City, and Bethany Beach and Rehoboth both at 22. Winds are calm or very light, so feels like temperatures not brutally cold, pretty much the same as the actual temperatures in the teens and 20s. Bundle up nonetheless, as we're looking at mainly clear skies right now. Just some cirrus clouds moving in. There is a cold front back to the west, not especially strong. It'll kind of wash out once it gets here, but it'll keep the cold air in place through today as we're slowly warming through the 20s by mid-morning, upper 20s. Then we're going above that freezing mark by noon, and then mid-30s by mid-afternoon. So remember, anything that melts will refreeze as we go into the evening hours. Still have salt on the roads and a few patches of ice, so a little slippery. I gave it the yellow light for the morning commute, and it's a frigid start. Bundle up, warm up the car, and still cold heading home with highs in the 30s this afternoon and evening.
Thank you, Bob. And new this morning with rains forecasted for the weekend, there is a new concern for the potential of mudslides and floods near the burned areas from those recent fires in California. The burned mountainsides left exposed dirt that could turn into mudslides and cause flooding, so LA County has been clearing debris and basins in the streets.
Happening today, the debate over what to call the bridge in Baltimore that is replacing the collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge. A public hearing is scheduled for this afternoon in the House of Delegates on a bill that was introduced earlier this month. The bill calls for the bridge to keep the Francis Scott Key name. Last year, several civil rights groups were pushing to rename the bridge because Key owned slaves in the early 1800s. Several steps need to occur before the bill actually comes up for a vote.
Also happening today, Rehoboth Beach officials will hold several public hearings for a previously controversial proposal. First, the Planning Commission will hold a site plan review for the hotel proposed to go on 1 Rehoboth Avenue. You may remember locals in the city have been concerned with traffic, among other topics, if that business were to be approved. Also, the Planning Commission will discuss a proposal to partition a parcel of land at 87 Henlopen Avenue into two.
New this morning, next year, when filing your state taxes, you may be paying more to the state of Delaware. This is on a bill introduced in the House. Currently, if you make more than $60,000, the rate is 6.6%. The bill adds 2 new tiers. If you make up to $250,000, you would pay 6.7%, and over $250,000, the rate goes up to nearly 7%. The bill is now under review in the Revenue and Finance Committee.
Also new this morning, making it easier for small restaurant businesses to thrive in Delaware. According to the General Assembly, legislation has been introduced that aims to get rid of, quote, unnecessary burdens. The legislation states that a new task force will have until June 2026 to identify the barriers, make a plan to reduce them, and decide if funding would be needed.
More people moving to Milford could mean more problems, and that typically means busier police departments.
As CoastTV News reporter Emma Aiken shows us, a new study is evaluating the pay for those positions that protect us.
The city of Milford is in the middle of a pay study that evaluates how much people are and should be making. That includes the police department. Michelle Rudzik hopes the study means more money in the pocket of the protectors.
So I think in today's world, police officers should make a lot more money. They go out every day, and they really don't know if they're going to come home that night.
According to Milford PD's website, right now, new officers make $61,000 a year with benefits. But depending on how this study goes, that number could be bumped up.
My personal feeling is they should be probably making more for what they have to go through. Dealing with homeless people, drunks, alcoholics, mad people, I couldn't do the job.
At a city council meeting this coming Monday, the chief of police will present an update on this pay study, and according to the department, once it is completed, certain positions could be in line for raises. In Milford, I'm Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
We are now taking a live look at the White House, and President Trump is wrapping up his first week in office with more executive orders and pardons. The president pressing forward with his America First agenda, while some Americans push back, including a federal judge in Washington state who issued a ruling that temporarily blocks the president's executive order ending birthright citizenship, calling it blatantly unconstitutional. The temporary restraining order sought by Arizona, Illinois, Oregon, and Washington was the first to get a hearing before a judge, and it applies nationally. 4 other lawsuits challenging the executive order have been filed from 22 states and a number of immigrant right groups.
I was really happy to see the judge express that same viewpoint, that in 4 decades he had never seen something so obviously unconstitutional.
This setback from the Trump agenda could go all the way to the Supreme Court.
Got a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Higher Ground is losing leverage. We'll tell you how the organization is working around an emergency order that is about to expire.
Also, Blue Jays on a roll. How the Seaford girls basketball team pushed their winning streak to 6 games.
But first, Seaford snuffs out crime. We'll show you the new technology the department says will help them get more real-time information on the city. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
If you know a high school student on Delmarva with a passion for agriculture or the culinary arts,
nominate them to become a WBOC Mount Air Farm to Table Scholarship winner.
The people who grow and prepare our food are more important than ever.
We are looking for 10 graduating seniors with a passion for feeding the world like we do at Mount Air Farms.
Nominees must have a 3.5 GPA or better, be an active participant in farming or culinary programs, and spend time giving back to the community.
Go to WBOC.com to nominate today.
The Polar Bear Plunge, benefiting Special Olympics Delaware, is one of the first state's coldest and most beloved traditions. This year, you have 2 exciting ways to take part. Plunge in person in Rehoboth Beach on Sunday, February 2nd, or create your own virtual plunge. Anytime, anywhere, and as cold or not as you want. It's not about how you plunge, it's about why. Support thousands of Special Olympics Delaware athletes. Register now at plungede.org.
You push it. You try to hold them shut, but your doors won't stay closed no matter what. Introducing Ruby Monkey Magnets. Ultra-thin magnetic plates that will keep your doors and drawers shut. Just peel to reveal the super strong adhesive. Place the monkey, then the magnet, and close. Installation is that simple, and now you have a door that will stay shut. The secret is the ultra-strong industrial magnet's powerful attraction that holds tight. Monkey magnets work on most surfaces and are perfect for cabinets, dresser drawers, sliding closet doors, and more. Even your outdoor problems are solved in an instant because they're corrosion and rust resistant. Call or go online now to get 8 sets of monkey magnets for only $9.99. Due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get monkey magnets at this low price. There is a strict limit of 1 house pack per order. Call now.
Call 1-800-453-9032. That's 1-800-453-9032. Call or visit getmonkeymagnets.com. So call 1-800-453-9032 now.
5:41 on our very cold Friday morning. Salisbury down to 11 right now. Thankfully, the winds are calm. And Spicer Brothers cameras showing good visibility. 15 for Seaford and Georgetown, 18 in Milton, 12 in Redden, only 14 in Ocean Pines with lower 20s up towards Rehoboth Beach. Winds are light right now, so it feels like temperatures pretty much like the actual temperatures into the teens and 20s. So the bottom line is bundle up. Today's checklist, still pretty cold out there. Don't need the snow brush. You definitely need the ice scraper, though. Remember to warm up the car, too. That's a good idea. Hats and gloves, that's also a good thing to do. Cover exposed skin. You don't want hypothermia. Warm beverage is a must, and make sure you have your sunglasses handy as well for later on. And Lucy Smith is our umbrella winner from Seaford. Congratulations to her from Paul Davis and Coast TV.
Thank you, Bob. New technology is helping police make more arrests and stop crime in Seaford. This is the Seaford Police Department's real-time crime center. And with the help from automation company Flock Safety, the department has centralized 21 cameras and 7 automatic license plate readers across the city. Whether at the police station or in a police car, operators and officers can now access information from the cameras and readers at any time.
We already had the cameras in place that are installed through the city, but they're in one location. We have them and we have that access, but to go through a list of cameras when we can see a map of exactly where they're at just speeds up that information. I already know who
The system was installed last June, and it also includes access to officer body-worn cameras and floor plans for every school in Seaford.
This weekend is a big one for football fans. It's the NFC and AFC championships. And on our sister station, Fox 21, you get the NFC championship game between Washington and the Eagles. That is at 3. And then on our sister station, WBOC, you can watch the AFC Championship game as the Buffalo Bills attempt to end the reign of the Kansas City Chiefs. That game is at 6:30.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning, sports fans. Seaford girls basketball aiming for win number 6 in a row and their second versus the Bulldogs of Laurel this season. Getting to the first quarter of action, Kamira Cornish-Bain of Seaford drives the baseline and banks in 2 4-0 Blue Jays. Shortly after, it's Autumn Camper of Laurel on the fast break, outruns the Blue Jays and lays in 2. Bulldogs down by 7. Later on in the first, Kamira Cornish-Bain of Seaford lets it fly from inside the arc, putting the Blue Jays ahead 19-2. Next possession, Laurel's Ashlyn Ullman feeds Destiny McCrae, who gets the bucket. Bulldogs behind 19-4. To the second quarter, Seaford's Amira Tinkle from downtown banks in the triple as the Blue Jays win 54-13. To Woodbridge, girls basketball visiting Del Mar. The Wildcats hoping to collect their second win over the Blue Raiders this season, but it was Woodbridge coming into this matchup firing right out of the gate. Jayla Crum-Jones shoots from deep and sinks it in to start the Blue Raiders with 3-0 lead. Just less than 30 seconds in, then with 6:20 on the clock, it's Ayani Hunt finding Deja Dalton, who hits it from the charity stripe, tying the game at 3. And then it's Jada Plummer slinging it to Crum-Jones, who hits it from deep again. Moving to the second, the Wildcats built themselves a lead. Avani Brown drives the baseline and hits the spin jumper to make it 16-8. And then sitting behind the three-point line again is Crum-Jones, who cans it from deep to make the score 22-11. And Del Mar goes on to win 41-23. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 7 live, Henlopen Conference boys basketball when Cape hosts Dover. And then for a full recap of all the action, it's the final score at 10:30 on the DSN Plus app. You get that Cape game, and then here are your exclusives. At 4, it's Easy at girls basketball with St. Peter and Paul taking on Gunston School. At 5, Delaware High School wrestling when Sussex Tech hosts Del Mar. More wrestling at 7. Laurel visits Sussex Central. Also at 7, we have more Henlopen Conference boys basketball with Sussex Central traveling to Smyrna.
We're seeing improving road conditions now. Here's the Tidal Health Cam at Salisbury. It's cold out there, 11 in Salisbury. Bundle up. We've gone from the brutally cold to just cold the next couple of days. And then milder weather for Sunday into next weekend. Staying dry, not seeing any big rain or snowstorms. I'll track the temperatures on Futurecast coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Download the CoastTV News app on your Apple or Android devices.
Hey, it's Leah, and I'm so excited because this Monday we'll finally reveal to you who's going to be joining me as the next co-host of Coast Life. So mark your calendars and get excited for this very special moment. Join me and the new Coast Life co-host Monday at 4 on Coast TV.
I've needed a new left hip for about 15 years. The last 2 cortisone shots I got were bone on bone, and they didn't last 6 months. They lasted maybe a month. I was in a lot of pain. The staff at the Joint Surgery Center at Atlantic General Hospital were incredibly helpful. I was back to work 2 days short of a month, which I found amazing. You learn to trust people when you get good care.
Start your journey to relief today. Atlantic General Hospital, expert care every day.
Is your cookware scratched inside and an eyesore on the outside? Introducing Gotham Steel Hammered Cream Cookware. Forged with an authentic hammered design, engineered with extremely strong titanium and tri-coated with ultra non-stick ceramic. Gotham Steel features double the non-stick release. Now you can cook healthier without all the butter or oil. Get this huge 15-piece set for 4 payments of $49.99 with free shipping.
To order, call 1-800-513-6408.
This is the revolutionary socket fan by Bell & Howell. The amazing 2-in-1 ceiling fan and light. If you can screw in a light bulb, you can hang the socket fan light. Socket fan comes with this handy remote. You can control the light and the breeze that you need. Socket fan fits any standard light socket. You can do it yourself in less than 10 seconds.
And now, the socket fan lights with deep socket extender is yours for $49.95 with free shipping. Order now, and you can get a second fan for 50% off.
Get cool fast with Socket Fan.
Coming up, Joy Behar and Susie Essman dish up dating advice.
My one requirement is I would like you to be employed.
Oh, no, I like my men homeless.
Friday at noon on Coast TV.
The time is now 5:48, and we're going to take a live look outside at Salisbury this morning. And Bob, it's cold, but it's not a frigid Friday, I would say. Just a cold Friday.
Yeah, bordering on frigid Friday, Lisa. Not as brutal as yesterday morning, though. We were in the single digits. Yeah, that is good. We're about 4 to 8 degrees warmer right now than we were this time yesterday. The storyline, still cold today. It will be dry. We'll see some cirrus clouds, and we'll melt some of that snow into the afternoon today and tomorrow, but more so on Sunday, increasing clouds, not as cold. I think we're looking at temperatures in the 40s at that time. Regional temperatures right now, Philly at 24, 23 in Ocean City. So definitely a little bit of warmer air starting to displace that Arctic air. But here on Delmarva, it's still pretty cold. As we talked about, Salisbury 11, 15 for Georgetown and Seaford, 18 in Milton right now, 26 in Ocean City, lower 20s Rehoboth back through Bethany Beach. Thankfully, the winds are calm or very light, so it feels like temperatures kind of mirroring the actual temperatures, feeling like teens and 20s. Bottom line is bundle up out there, and we are about 5 to almost 10 degrees warmer right now than we were yesterday at this time, so definitely good to see we're on that upward trend, but it's a slow upward trend. As we're seeing mostly clear skies right now, just a few little cirrus clouds, maybe even a few little snow showers across the mountains northwest of D.C. There is a weak cold front moving through western Maryland right now. That'll kind of weaken and wash out as it gets to us, but it'll reinforce that chilly air. But behind this, we're very quiet with high pressure across the central plains, and eventually we will start to warm up as we go into the second half of the weekend. As we're looking at low to mid-20s this morning, and then as we head into the noon hour, look at that, we're at 32 or above it, so we're actually starting to finally melt some of that ice and snow again. And by mid-afternoon, around 34, 35 from Seaford to Millsboro, Ocean City around 33. And then remember, anything that melts will refreeze this evening once the sun goes down. See some high clouds and temperatures a little slower to fall through the 20s. And I think by Saturday morning, I think we're still in the teens and lower 20s. So another cold start, but we're inching up those temperatures. And by Saturday afternoon, much like today, we're into the mid-30s and we're melting more snow. Winds turn out of the southwest on Sunday. We start in the 30s, but by afternoon, I think we're into at least the low 40s, that maybe even mid-40s. Feels like temperatures into the teens this morning, improving into the afternoon hours with 20s and 30s. Another cold start Sunday morning in the single digits and teens, and still, well, pretty cold into Saturday afternoon. And we're looking at below normal temperatures the next several days. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook is still a little bit below normal, but not brutally cold. Paul Davis 7-day forecast has us cold mid-30s as we head through today and tomorrow, then 46 Sunday, and then 40s Monday through Thursday, flirting with 50 on Tuesday and staying dry.
Thank you, Bob. And while we're waiting for a bit of a warm-up, the temperatures remain cold, dangerously cold at night, and an emergency overnight shelter status for one Georgetown nonprofit. It's about to expire. Lou Hernandez, director of Higher Ground Outreach, says he hopes to work with the town again to provide shelter in cases of severe weather.
Maybe we can work out where the wind conditions permit it, when the conditions are bad in the weather, snow, ice, hurricane, whatever type of severe conditions, that we can continue to open up again and keep people safe until those conditions clear up.
Yeah, Town Manager Gene Dvorak told CoastTV that they are considering an emergency plan.
And Higher Ground Outreach accepts donations from the community on a weekly basis. People can drop off clothing, coats, shoes, and warm meals. The only day you can't drop anything off is on Wednesday, because that's when they're closed. And along with Higher Ground Outreach, there's other organizations in Sussex County, such as Code Purple, that also provides warm beds during the winter. And you can visit our website, CoastTV.com, to learn how you can volunteer at shelters like Code Purple and Higher Ground Outreach.
Seeing a lot of ice right now on the canal in Lewis on the Irish Ice Camp for good reason. We're starting out in the teens and 20s, but we're gone from brutally cold to just cold today and tomorrow. Milder Sunday into early next weekend. Staying dry, but then maybe some rain into next weekend. I'll have your 10-day forecast coming up next.
It's the incredible Red Dog, the amazing universal socket tool that fits, grips, and tightens virtually any fastener. Look at all the different sizes and shapes, nuts, bolts, and screws. Any head will do. Red Dog grabs on tight and locks into place fast. It replaces hundreds of different tools, yet it's smaller than a battery. 54 telescoping steel pins mold around any object. Then, up to 150 pounds of torque, knock out rusted fasteners. You can get Red Dog for just $19.99. Breaking news: Red Dog may be discontinued. Due to supply chain shortages, Red Dog is stopping manufacturing immediately. There's a strict limit of 3 per order while supplies last. Order now.
Call 1-800-519-7208. That's 1-800-519-7208 or visit byreddog.com. Call 1-800-519-7208 now.
How many times have you tried to clean a stubborn mess but end up with no success? What you need is the all-new waterproof Ruby Horsepower, the new cordless and rechargeable power scrubber that cleans faster and easier, guaranteed. Watch, baked on oven grease is no match. It blasts away dirt and grime in no time. The power comes from our rotating brushes, spinning at 350 RPM. The incredible torque fights calcium, mildew, mold, and more. Take it in the kitchen, where it busts through caked-on crud, or outside and tackle tough tasks with ease. Get your Ruby Horsepower with 4 additional attachments, all for just $39.99. Great news! They're in stock and ready to ship. Due to high demand, only 2 per order. Order now.
Call 1-800-455-0217. That's 1-800-455-0217 or visit horsepowerscrubber.com. So call 1-800-455-0217 now.
Local news is really important, especially right now. Local news is still largely trusted by the people in the community that they cover, and a big part of that is because we're out in the community every day. We're meeting people, we're talking to people, we're telling their specific stories, because there's a lot of people that want to know what's going on here. There's a lot of people that have opinions about what's going on here. That matters from a journalistic standpoint.
CoastTV, our community, your news, where every story hits close to home.
Purdue Pharma and its Sackler family owners have reached a new opioid settlement to resolve thousands of lawsuits. Thursday, several state attorney generals announced the $7.4 billion national settlement, and the lawsuit alleged OxyContin pain medication caused a nationwide opioid addiction crisis. The settlement calls for the Sacklers to pay $6.5 billion, with Purdue Big Pharma paying $900 million.
United Healthcare has named a new CEO. This follows the murder of Brian Thompson in December. The company on Thursday announced Tim Noel will take over the role. He joined the company in 2007. Previously, he worked on financial restructuring at Northwest Airlines during its bankruptcy proceedings.
And the time is now 5:56, so we're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And as we do each Friday, we get our pet of the day from the Brandywine Valley SPCA. Look at this picture here. This is Squash. What a happy-looking dog.
Oh my gosh.
He is active and a playful boy. He's a big fan of treats and playing fetch outdoors. So if you want to adopt Squash, somebody's got to do that.
His name, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Well, we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. You can send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. Take a look at your screen.
Yeah, you can scan that QR code at the top of your screen to get your friend to us here, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
And the time is now 5:56, so we're going to get a quick look at your forecast before you head out the door.
Bob, let's get above freezing today.
Yes,
Let's do
yes.
it. That is our goal, and I think we will. For how long? A couple of hours, but that's about it. We're cold this morning. Make sure you bundle up, but notice that temperatures and the wind chills are pretty much matching. That means the winds are light. We do warm above freezing early afternoon, a high around 35. Feels like temperatures in the 20s. Paul Davis 10-day forecast still in the mid-30s on Saturday with sunshine. Then we bounce it into the 40s on Sunday. Then we stay in the mid to upper 40s through Wednesday, maybe 50 Tuesday. Cools down by the end of the week, and by next weekend, could be a little rainy. Yes, that's the groundhog poking up on Groundhog Day. Maybe some showers Sunday and 50 degrees.
That is a great day, Bob, Groundhog Day. Coming up in our next hour, higher tax tiers, why many Delawareans could pay more in income taxes when filing next year. That and more when Coast TV News Today continues.